Hello and welcome to Sheffield, where today I'm going to be taking a trip down to London's and Pancras with East Midlands Railway, travelling in first class. Today's journey is on one of EMR's Class 222 Meridian trains, which have been in service for 20 years now. They are due to be replaced in 2025 with brand new Class 810 trains, which they're calling Aurora trains, and are similar to those found on LNER and GWR, but with a completely unique interior. In the meantime, I want to see how these old Meridians are faring up before they leave their fleet for good. I'm going to be assessing the comfort level, amenities, complimentary food and drink, general ambience, but most importantly, judging whether it's value for money over travelling in standard class. Okay, let's get on board. This train leaves in like a few minutes. I am running a little later than I actually wanted to for this train, but it's fine. I don't have a reserved seat, but there's loads of unreserved seating on this whole train. It's a 5-car Meridian train, and 2 of the carriages are first class, like all first class, so there's only 3 carriages of standard, which must be really bad if you're travelling in standard, because it probably means that there's not that much space. But in first, it's great. So East Midlands Railway runs services all over the East Midlands, but it only runs first class on the services to and from London St Pancras. That's mostly through Leicester and then up to Sheffield and Nottingham. Sheffield is their longest route. It takes roughly 2 hours and 9 minutes or thereabouts. So obviously it varies depending on the actual train. I'm going to get on board and find the seats. The first class seats are laid out in a typical 2+1 configuration. However, contrary to my earlier comment, the front portion of this coach has been declassified to standard class, which did cause a bit of confusion for passengers of both classes. I sat myself down in seat 5 right at the back of this coach, but then followed a very confused announcement.
Good afternoon everyone, welcome on board this 1402 East Midland Railway service to Sheffield. Please look at your ticket and make sure you are on the right time, on the right train and on the right carriage. This is 1702 East Midland Railway service to London St Pancras. We'll be calling Chesterfield, Derby, Long Eaton, East Midland Parkway, Loughborough, Leicester and London St Pancras.
Someone doesn't know what train they're on.
As we pull away, let's take a look at the route we'll be taking today. Starting from Sheffield at 1701, we'll travel south through Chesterfield and onwards to Derby. There, we'll veer east towards Long Eaton, East Midlands Parkway, Loughborough and Leicester. From here is non-stop to London, scheduled to arrive at St Pancras at 1910 after a total travel time of 2 hours and 9 minutes.
So now we're on board, let's take a look around this seat, shall we? So, it looks a bit old and worn. There's like very definite sort of scratches and stuff, and on the table here, it's definitely very worn. The leather is kind of falling apart a bit. And there's definitely like discoloration in the first class stitching there. But in terms of what you actually get, so over there is a bank of 4, and you seem to have 2 plug sockets across the 4, so that's 1 plug socket per 2 seats. But me in a solo seat gets an individual plug socket down there. We have some sort of coat hook type thing, so we've got our reservation screen which just shows that this is available for me. There's also an overhead storage, but it is very, very tight. You can barely fit anything on there. I didn't even try to get my bag up there. My bag is actually in the end of carriage luggage rack. It does come with a recline function, so let's do that, and it's very stiff, but it does recline. It's actually quite a lot of recline, to be fair. It comes with 2 movable armrests, which you can move all the way back if you wanted to. I do like how it's pretty much flush with the headrest thing as well. That was thought about. We also have a curtain here. There is a little light thing, but that doesn't really do much. We also have this little menu card thing that shows what you get. So let's have a look at the breakfast. So this is obviously an evening train, so this isn't what's available to me right now, but you get some hot rolls. So you can choose from, it doesn't say, freshly filled hot rolls including a vegetarian and vegan option. I'm assuming that must be bacon then. Or you can have porridge, and you've also got morning pastry and yogurts. Please ask your host for today's options. So obviously it's never the same. But on what we'll be getting there for the rest of the day, light bites. Choose from a range of sandwiches, wraps and salads, including gluten-free and vegan option. With snacks including biscuits, cake slice, tray bacon, crisps. So very generic. I suppose they just do that so they just tell you what they have available on the day. Also have some drink options. Choose from coffee or tea, hot chocolate, fruit juice, still a sparkling water. And then you can also purchase alcohol. So the alcohol is not included in the cost of your ticket, but you can buy a white wine for £3.50, 187ml. I think that's fairly reasonable for the purchase price of some wine. Overall, compared to other first class trains, fairly limited selection, shall we say. I mean, they only do trains on first class at least of maximum 2 hours. So you're not going to expect loads, but I was kind of hoping for a bit more. I don't know when I'm going to be served, just literally coming into Chesterfield now, and all that's happened so far is a ticket check. So who knows when they're going to serve, we'll see.
I didn't have long to find out though, because the first class host visited my seat immediately upon leaving Chesterfield. I'm assuming therefore that prior to that she was serving customers in the first class carriage.
Tea, coffee, or juice?
You have some tea, please.
Milk and sugar?
Yes, please. Just one sugar there.
Any biscuit cakes or balls?
Have those. They can have these as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. What sandwich options do you have?
We have chicken, mayo and salad sub. Or we have a vegetarian option with a pesto, mozzarella and tomato.
I'll have the chicken sub, please. So I have a cup of tea. It's kind of a stingy portion, but I'll let it slide. Also, I had a choice of all the snacks I wanted, so I chose some crisps and some Walker's shortbread biscuits. And then a sandwich is coming soon. I chose a chicken sub. There was a vegetarian option, which I can't remember what she said now. But also got cute little EMR branded napkins. That's pretty cute. Cheers. Oh, that's pretty warm. It's good though.
A couple of minutes later, my sandwich was delivered.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a pretty big sandwich. So it's chicken mayo and salad with tomato and seasoned mayo. Let's give it a go. Kind of a bit basic, but if it tastes good, that's what matters, right? It's not bad. It actually used to be a frequent traveller with East Midlands Railway, as they were known at the time, Midland Main Line, because I grew up on this line. I grew up in Corby and I went to university in Lincoln, so I was always on the line back and forth from home to uni. And back in the days of Midland Main Line, I remember when these trains were like brand new and they were all nice and shiny and it all seemed really awesome, and it was like, these were great, apart from the awful overhead storage space, because I think they were running turbo stars before then and partly HSTs as well. And to get onto one of these trains was just like, it was a dream in comparison to those. Obviously I never had the opportunity to travel first class in those times. I was a poor student, I couldn't afford it, so I was travelling standard class the whole time. And back in those days they used to give out free tea to everyone, not just first class, literally to everyone. Free tea or coffee. And it confused a lot of people, because they'd bring a trolley down, tea, coffee, soft drinks, whatever. They'd be handed their tea, coffee, and then they'd go to pay for it. And they're like, oh no, it's complimentary. It's like, oh, great. It was awesome, I loved it. You don't get that anymore. That's a shame.
We pull into our next station stop of Derby on time at 17:32. As I continue to tuck into this massive sandwich, we carry on down the line right past the Ratcliffe-on-Sour power station. That's difficult to say, but this is the last remaining coal-fired power station in the UK, although it is scheduled to close in September 2024. It is located right next to the East Midlands Parkway train station, which was built here in 2009. But now it's time for the Loo review.
Welcome to the Loo. On this train, the disabled access toilet is not working. There were signs up on the screens that said that beforehand, which is a bit of a shame, but yeah, so I have to go to the small one. The next station, the door is locked. Look at this one. Not any gap, that's not good. I quite like this little effect on the mirror there. Water does come out. Dryer. Not a bad dryer. There's actually a proper little hand towel as well. Which is good because sometimes the dryer is just awful and it's just, you don't want to use it anyway. It's clean enough, it's just small. Fortunately, I can't test the disabled access unit.
Just after Loughborough, there was another drink service which I politely declined.
Very shortly we'll be arriving at our next station, which is Leicester. If you're leaving yourself, please make sure you have all your belongings with you. Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
If you're enjoying this video so far, why don't you subscribe so you don't miss any future videos? Like next week when I'm travelling with Transport for Wales, sampling their amazing chef-cooked meals on their Premier service between Manchester and Swansea.
So good. This is so good.
For now though, we're speeding towards London St Pancras.
I am noticing a bit of an issue. I am having a lot of trouble finding any sort of decent phone signal along this entire route. And I had the same issue when I travelled with cross country on their Voyager trains, which I think is a sort of sister train to this Meridian. I wonder if there's something about these trains that stifles signal somehow. There is Wi-Fi, but it's really slow. It's not working too well. So staying connected when you're on this journey is proven to be very difficult.
On the subject of Wi-Fi, I did my usual multiple speed tests, but it often wouldn't connect. I did however have one successful test, and here is the result. As you can see, it's pretty average and only really suitable for basic browsing. I have heard that the new trains will have a vastly improved Wi-Fi connection, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that.
So as we're passing through Market Harbour on our way to London, let's have a look at the prices for this service, shall we? On the journey from Sheffield to London, a super off-peak single in standard class is £93.40. Its first class equivalent is £139, that is super off-peak as well. So you're actually not looking at much of an increase there, relatively. It's only about £46 or thereabouts. Which when you put it like that, kind of sounds a bit much, but to be fair, it's not that much of an increase. But bear in mind, this is like these super flexible tickets. But advanced tickets is where you find the biggest savings. Of course, bear in mind, these are just restricted to a very particular train. So the cheapest I found in standard class was £18.20. The cheapest I found in first class was £32.50. That isn't that much of an increase, that's £14. I actually think that's a fairly reasonable upgrade. You know, considering you get a sandwich, crisp, biscuits, plenty of drinks, there's actually quite a bit of value in there. And if you're only making a partial journey, let's say you go from Sheffield to Leicester, you'll still get your sandwich, you'll still get your drink, and you're going to be paying less for it because it's a shorter journey. I actually think that this is a reasonable price for what you're getting.
Time for my final thoughts. I think EMR are not too bad. If you consider that the scheduled journey time of these trains is a little over 2 hours, you do kind of get what you expect. There's a good range of snacks on offer, and that sandwich was actually the largest single complimentary item I received on any train throughout my entire trip. Yes, the train is showing its age and the seats are wearing out a bit, but they're still comfortable and fit for purpose. All things considered, I'm rating them a 6 out of 10, which ties them with 3 other operators, but I'm going to put them one spot above ScotRail and just below Hull trains. It will be interesting to review them again when the new Aurora trains come into service, just to see if they can bring that score up a bit.
Very shortly we'll be arriving at our final station stop, which is London St Pancras, where this train will be terminating.
Sadly, that's where my microphone terminated too, so I'll be doing this sign-off via voiceover instead. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment and so on. There's a link to a playlist on screen with all the other videos in the series where I'm reviewing every single first class train in Britain, so go check those out. And I'll see you again next time.